recording in a basement in suburbia. It's a Shorty, Money, and Dunc show where we're going to talk about trial by Twitter. I'm Mickey Shorty Shortwell.
Oh, I'm Mo Money.
And I'm Duncan DuPont. You know, it has been a while, so we're just getting the kinks out again.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I forgot not to.
The three of us.
Yeah.
It's the progression of the title, so you obviously have to go second.
I didn't. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, we should have rehearsed that.
A little bit, yeah.
It's been a while. Money, where you been? You were in oil painting at one point?
Line dancing. And farm.
How'd that go?
The oil painting one may have been my favorite one, honestly, of all the ones I heard. Line dancing sounds good, but I'm lazy as shit, man. Why would you ever assume I would want to stand up for any reason?
It got me a win, so I got a win over Mocha, so I'm good.
Yeah, no, I was trapped in an oil painting, and it was the Scream one, so like it was hard to converse with people to get me out because my mouth was just wide open.
What did you have to do once you got out of the oil painting? How do you
hold on before we get to this? You know, we're talking about different generations, and Shorty's got his selfie stick.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Out, which is not. I mean, you know, this is more millennial stuff going on here.
Is it?
It's like I don't even know you anymore.
No, I don't think the selfie stick is a millennial thing necessarily.
We're
gonna do.
It's weird.
All right, we're going.
Oh, hello.
I gotta go with the high angle because I look.
And
really,
we're actually live.
We're live.
Oh,
all right,
great.
we're live.
All right.
On the Facebook.
All right.
Right now?
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
All right. We are live doing this.
We got to wait until we get somebody watching. Is anybody watching?
Probably not.
How do we know?
All right.
Okay.
Well, thanks.
Bye.
So weird.
So I had a very... Oh, wait. No, we got to go back to the oil painting. I'm sorry. I totally hijacked that.
Yeah,
go ahead. Please go back
oil
to
painting.
that. Yes.
Once you got out of the oil painting, how do you clean all that off?
So for that, I mean, I just kind of kept it on for a little bit. Changed my colors a little bit. Live life as not a brown person, but a blue and yellow one.
How was that?
Blue and yellow, blue and yellow.
Honestly, people treated me pretty much the same. But a lot of like Indian people didn't talk to me with an Indian accent or speak to me in an Indian language because they didn't assume that I knew what they were talking about.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Whenever brown people see me, they're just like. They start speaking...
they figure native language, go, boom.
Which, here's the thing. Yeah. I can speak it.
Okay.
But I taught myself how to speak it. So, like, if this was any other situation, I wouldn't have really known the language. I learned it. So I always pretend I don't know what they're saying. My eyebrow lady plays this game with me. Yeah. She thinks she knows for sure that I speak Urdu, that I understand what she's saying. So she likes to test me.
Oh, okay.
So she'll say things in Urdu that are... critical to getting my eyebrows done. Like, should I do this part over here? And she'll say it in Urdu. And, like, if I don't answer, then it's, I don't understand. Urdu, yeah.
Urdu, which is India?
So they speak it in India and certain parts of Pakistan. Okay. I speak Pashto, which is a dialect of Persian. Mm-hmm. So I'm not from the other side of Pakistan where they speak Urdu, but I thought it was a cool language, so I learned it anyway.
Okay.
Can we get back to the fact that there's an eyebrow lady?
Yeah, I get my eyebrows done.
Does she do the threading?
She does.
Is that how you do it?
She does the threading, and she's a Pakistani woman, so she's very protective of me. So when I come in, like if I'm wearing something scandalous, she'll be like, "Put on a jacket before you go outside. There are many men walking around."
I just have a feeling if I walk in and she saw my eyebrows, she'd just freak out.
Or she'd be like, "Money, money!"
Holy cow! Yeah.
She'd just be
cancel the rest of my
money.
appointments. This is going to take a while. Yeah, that's.
You can get clippers, man. I got clippers with a couple of AAAs in
them. I grow caterpillars up
Takes
here.
a good 7-8 seconds to clean things up. If I let it go too long, it's
All right.
Me too, but you wouldn't know that because I got my eyebrow lady.
Right? Yeah, your eyebrow lady.
I was a hideous child. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I was like Mowgli, like from the Jungle Book. Mm-hmm. I looked like because I had that, like those what do you call it, like a bowl cut, but like bowl cut bangs. I was just
we gotta see some of these pictures.
We need a photo. It never happened.
Very ugly child.
Never happened.
Yeah.
I was a very ugly child. So anyway, I got out of the painting. I had to, really make sure that the witch I pissed off who trapped me in said painting was, I I had to make a deal with her. So
you made a deal with her.
I had to make a deal with her.
You didn't just kill her, because most of the fairy tales you got to kill the evil witch.
No, I'm morally opposed to killing people, so I couldn't kill her. But I turned her into a cat, and I sent her to my neighbor's place.
She trapped you in an oil painting.
Yeah, she did.
I think that's a murder.
I think we have to go back and maybe tell our listeners what it is we're talking about. And when Mo's not here, we play a game called Where's Mo?
Yes.
And our guest that day was Juice Man, if I believe.
Yes.
And his guess, I can't remember what my first one for that episode was, but his guess was that you were stuck in an oil painting, and that was a contest. That was our first of a couple contests, and yeah, he smoked me on that.
He did.
Yeah,
he did.
It wasn't
and
close.
it was a difficult contest for me to judge.
No, not that one.
Oh,
that was pretty
easy?
clear. Yeah.
Okay. I was saying
the
I didn't
smoking
really
gun. That's still a little painful. I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, so I made a bargain with a wizard in order to make the witch a cat. So now I have to run as fast as Tom Cruise. Anytime Tom Cruise runs, I have to start running.
You have to start running?
I have to just start running in any direction.
Yeah.
It could be like straight towards a wall, but I have to run as fast as I can. Until he stops, I can't stop. So
do you do the straight out hand thing? Like he does? Oh yeah.
I did see the new Mission Impossible movie on Friday, and not to give things away, he does run
a lot.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I will not be watching that because
He sprints his butt off. Yes.
That would be very funny if I was in a movie theater. Funny and frightening, and all of a sudden a young woman stands up in front and just starts running maniacally around the theater.
And that's money.
And that's me.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Tom Cruise running quickly away from his gay thoughts as fast as he possibly can.
Wow. Wow. All right. And that's a subject for another podcast.
I think money just outed Tom Cruise.
Wow. I think he's gay, and I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think he should own it, but I think that's how Scientology's got him by the balls. Is like they know, they have proof that he's gay, and they're like, you can't leave us. You have to promote us, otherwise we're outing you.
I do like me some Katie Holmes, and the fact that didn't work out, it's gotta.
Katie Holmes.
I
like.
She's
Dunc.
tall.
Oh God.
She's okay.
Beautiful.
I like Michelle, whatever her last name is. The new girl. No. The new Bond or not Bond. The new Mission Impossible
Monaghan?
girl. Yeah, Monaghan.
Yeah. Boom.
Oh, she was in.
She's in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
And she is in this movie.
She is fantastic.
Yeah, this is the second Mission Impossible movie she's been. She was in the last one too, right?
She did a cameo in Ghost Protocol, and she is the main chick in the third one.
Okay.
But no, she wasn't in Rogue Nation, I don't believe.
Okay.
No?
Maybe she was. I saw Rogue Nation.
Because I just watched it the other day, and whoever the Rogue Nation lead woman was.
That's not Michelle Monaghan, but that woman can absolutely get it.
I love it when Mo says that.
Yeah.
She can get it.
See, no, and she can get it just means that the person's attractive. I don't know if it's a millennial thing, but I say that.
That's one of the list of things that Shorty and I can't
groceries.
say, but it sounds great when Mo says it, though.
She can get it. I said it right there. She can get it. I agree.
Yeah, she can get it.
Totally.
But under very special circumstances, she can get it just means she's hot, right?
I thought you meant something.
I mean, yes, because she's hot, she can get it. So yes, you do. Yeah.
Okay.
No, there is that.
I'm just skipping,
but for
step 2 and 3.
So I have a question for you guys. When there's a very special lady like Pauletta Patton, she can not only get it, it is put on hold for her.
Who?
Pauletta Patton or Paula Patton from Ghost Protocol. Nobody's seen that? Google her.
I've seen it.
Google her.
Bring it up on the screen here.
Google her and you will understand. Paula Patton, yeah. I keep calling Pauletta Patton.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. Just look at pictures of her in a dress. Just write Pauletta Patton hot, and you'll find.
For those of you at home, Shorty's got a big screen TV over by the window, and now we are Googling the heck out of Paula Patton.
Although none of the pictures are really like the ones that make her stand out.
Okay.
Just type in Ghost Protocol because there's her in a green dress, and I've never seen a green dress fit a person like that. Not Goat Protocol.
Goat Protocol.
It's a different movie
Nice.
altogether.
Yeah, see that one all the way to the right. There you go. That's Pauletta Patton. Or Paula Patton.
Pauletta.
Paula.
Why can't I just get this big?
That's what
he said.
Oh, he said it.
I guess you could say it's
yours is more inclusive of the gays. Mine was very heterosexual.
Inclusive of the gays.
Oh boy. No, I agree. She's she can probably get it.
No, not just that. She can. It is on hold for her.
It's on hold.
It is. There is no one. Yeah, she can get it. It is on hold for her in case she misses it the first time. It is forever on hold.
I just like Shorty's reaction. There's a very high likelihood that she can get it.
Definitely. Definitely an 80 or 90% chance of getting it.
I still think that I'm in the Katie Holmes camp still. Yeah.
Oh, I still like Katie Holmes.
Yes.
I have not abandoned Katie Holmes. I mean, she was what was
trying to
Dawson's
state my
Creek?
case.
I never saw Dawson's Creek, but she was in a movie with directed by Sam Raimi.
She was also in Batman Begins.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah, the first one.
Yep.
Yeah, and then she got all crazy for Cruise, and
she's got that the way she talks. She's got that weird her mouth is only opens on one side a little bit.
Like she had a stroke.
Yeah.
Maybe
She's
she
got
did.
that stroke mouth.
Yeah. Stroke mouth.
Oh, I'm going directly to hell.
Stroke mouth.
You said stroke though.
Well, one side, it just made me think. When I see someone talking like that, I think that they have had a stroke.
Yeah, but she does that. Yeah.
For those of you just tuning in,
Or something.
Money's going straight.
Shorty.
To hell.
You need to hit rewind and go back and listen to the first part because it's been awesome so far.
I had a very weird occurrence. Well, actually, it's a couple weird occurrences. It's strange that I started doing improv last year to just challenge my anxiety, and now here I am trying out for auditions for an improv slot, which is just weird on its own. But I had a situation where I was talking to somebody who was checking us in,
Yeah.
and the guy stepped away from the desk and he was doing something, and I just went up and started talking to him, and then I introduced myself. Yeah, thanks for your time. I'm Duncan. And he said, yeah, thanks. I'm Brack. And I just paused for a second. And I'm sorry, what was that? He said, yeah, Brack, B-R-A-C-K. And I had never heard that name before, B-R-A-C-K. And
Just a white guy?
it is a white guy.
Really?
And what was weird is that after the auditions, they went through the people's names that were judging us and stuff like that. And Brack was last, and he announced his name, and he said his name again. And the lady at the end says, well, it was the same conversation. What was it? Brack? Yeah, it's a B-R-A-C-K. And I just had a feeling that this guy has to have the same conversation at least 5 or 6 times a day. That's going to be minimum about his name. Just spelling it out and all this. At some point, he's just got to drop and say, yeah, my name's Joe. Yeah,
No,
it's
I appreciate that people have pride in the name that was given to them at birth, but I also have respect for people that recognize the fact that their name is difficult for people to understand easily.
That's why I go by Mo, because
Yeah.
if people then they're just
Right.
like Momina. There's this kid growing up who called me Pneumonia.
Yeah.
It's so.
But I can't wake up in the morning knowing that I'm going to have to spend at least a half hour going over my name and spelling it and justifying what it is. And
No.
Yeah, see, if someone told me his name was Brack, I'd be like, Brack City, bitch, run the whole school, ho. Like, it would just be funny for me. I wouldn't even make him explain it. I'd be like, that is awesome. You keep that name.
Yeah.
And,
City.
Yeah, see?
Brack City. I gotcha. I am the hip hop expert here, so get out of my area.
This is
I'm like,
very
I've been
true.
courteous to people. My given name is Michael, and I've shortened it to Mike.
you're
Most people
quite,
get it.
You're quite a guy.
Yeah.
You're quite a guy.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Well, it is one less syllable. Like,
It is one less syllable, and that's and the longer names.
But if you were
and the
staying
more,
with the shtick, you just say, my name's Shortwell, and I shortened it to Shorty.
yeah. Well, most people do call me
You're
Shorty.
still in the
which
witness
is-
protection program. We're not giving out our real names here.
Right. Well, I know. I didn't give the last name, so that's cool. Plus, I share this on my Facebook.
That is true.
Yeah.
With all my
That is true.
with all my friends on Facebook, which is a problem because, I do things like I did the other night, where
Keep going.
Oh boy, yeah. Don't leave us hanging like that.
I don't remember exactly why. I think I went to we have a nice lake restaurant in the area, and I went out and had a couple libations. And I might have had a couple libations prior to going there, and came home and had another couple libations. I was libated, and so I'm sitting up on my couch, trying to decompress, let my liver do a little work before I go to bed. And as these things take place, I had my phone in my hand. I pop open Facebook, and I'm like, I'm kind of tired of seeing the same 12 people post all the time. So I need more friends, and when I'm sober and I see the list of people that I should friend and I look at their names, I'm like, I don't know who these people are. And I have like relations, 12 people that I know that know this person. Well, on this given particular night, given that I was libated, I decided to just go crazy, hitting the friend request button over and over and over and over and over. And then after I got tired of Facebook, I jumped over to Twitter and started doing the same thing. I think I snap friend? Snappy snap? What do you call it?
Whatever you want.
No. Okay.
It makes it funnier when you come up with it yourself.
That is true.
I snappity snapped a bunch of people there. So I've got all these great Facebook friends.
So how many friend requests did you send out on Facebook?
Oh, God, I don't know.
Do you guys get the ones, or is this just me, where it's like, it's clearly a girl, like, she's super sluttily dressed. She doesn't have any mutual friends with you, but they're like, Angel. And she's covered in tattoos and half naked, and she's like modeling or something.
All the time.
Did you add Angel? Is that what happened? No, is this your story?
Angel requests that I friend her. I mean, can you blame her?
Yeah, like people you may know.
Yeah.
And usually the girls know, like, okay, this girl's like, this is something weird, so they just say no. But then you'll always get, like, some dude in high school of yours is now friends with Angel. I'm like, of course he is.
Yeah. No, I get the Angel ones, but they're these women or that are in various states of undress.
Yeah.
Or barely dressed on Facebook.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, number one.
So is this your
right
cover of why you added her? So if your wife ever hears this, she's just like, oh.
No. In all honesty, those when I get I jump on the page and I'd look just to see if I know anybody.
Yeah, sure.
And usually they have no friends, and I'm like, okay, I see what's going on here, or it's me and 4 other guys. And I just report them and turn them in, and
that's that.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't get those kind of friend requests.
No,
all these people are fully clothed.
All the ones that I requested were suggested to me by Facebook, and
so you would have. So maybe it's suggesting it to me because I've probably Googled someone, and it's just like, oh, you might like this lady.
Got it. All right.
You like Paula Patton? Check out Angel.
Yeah, but
same breast size. Yeah, no, with Facebook, I mean, you got to be careful what you put on Facebook. You got to be careful
Twitter.
what you put on your tweets, your Twitter pages.
What about the Snapper, Shorty?
The Snapper.
I don't know.
Well, see, that disappears, though.
Yeah, but
someone can screenshot it, but
not
you know
really,
you're...
Yeah. If someone really hates you and they want to build a case against you...
But at least you know that this person thought enough to screenshot it. Because with Snapchat, so like once you get that screenshot notification, you're like, well, I'm fucked. I made a mistake.
Yeah, too late. You can't take it back.
You know that this person's holding on to it for, whatever it is.
Part of my morning after activity, in addition to kind of reviewing all the people that are requested to be friends, I have to go back and look at anything that I responded to and make sure I delete any comments.
Any wars that you started?
Nice.
Are you a troll, Mike? Is that what you do?
No, I
That was a pretty long pause, and then just
okay.
I don't hide under bridges.
Okay,
so you don't hide under bridges and collect money from people.
No, definitely not. I mean, I collect money from people, but I'm above the bridge.
Yeah,
on the side of the road. But on occasion, if I go on a website and someone has an opinion that I disagree with, I'll try and have an intelligent discussion. I don't know if that
You're
counts
a troll.
I don't think that counts as being a troll. I think a troll, like if you jump on and say, "Hey, you're a Nazi, and your children should die." I think that's a troll. I think trying to engage people in a literate conversation. Although, to be fair, in most cases, I realize that the people that I'm trying to engage in an intelligent conversation are not going to be able to engage in an intelligent conversation.
Which makes you a troll.
I think that's an instigator.
Which makes you a troll.
I don't like the word troll. It seems kind of harsh.
Just because you don't like it doesn't mean you're not a troll.
So but you're right. There, you got to be careful what you post online, and it's gotten toxic in a lot of different areas. But you have people that are starting to, ruin their careers. I mean, I don't think she was the first one, but like Roseanne Barr, who posted,
Well, yeah, like we say things on like social media that we've said years ago that looking at the current atmosphere, you really wish you didn't. Like, for example, I think like 10 years ago, I was on like I was watching a bunch of movies by a certain actor, and I posted, Kevin Spacey seems like the kind of guy that would just be a real, genuine, good individual if you ever met him in real life.
You had to go back and undo that?
I did not, but like I'm giving a very modest example of like you say things a long time ago. I didn't even say it for the sake of a laugh. Now, if you look at it, it's just like, oh, she didn't know.
Yeah,
well, nobody knew.
Nobody knew. People could have thought. It's probably the Tom Cruise thing, though. You could have thought, figured that out. I think. Kevin
he's
Spacey,
gay?
He's a little bit of a thing.
See, you know he's gay.
So there's been a couple of people that gotten into trouble recently in the, I guess, celebrity sphere. First one being James Gunn, director of the first two Guardians of the Galaxy movies, who's been fired by Marvel, Disney, same thing, for a series of tweets that he made 10 years ago about pedophilia. And I think Dunc, you looked up one of them, right?
I looked up a few of them. I think when you look at the totality of the whole thing and what he's saying in general, it looks pretty bad. I think when Money and I were reading some of these individually, I think some of them were pretty damn funny.
But like the kind of funny that you laugh, but you're going to hell.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, I still was going to hell before reading the tweet. So, it's just such a weird topic just to have this come back X amount of years later, and all of a sudden now it's a big deal. I just don't get it. I don't like it.
So I have a couple of James Gunn tweets that I'll read to you here, and I might have to beep some of these. They're not. I mean, they're in what they mean. They're pretty bad, but there's no. So number one, he was retweeting at somebody, and it says, "I like it when little boys touch me in my silly place." Shh.
That one's not funny. That one's just weird.
That is weird.
Let's see the next one here. My new film, Jerk Loose, a small town where beating off is illegal. And one high school kid jerks off in front of the others to show how fun it is.
That is so weird. That's just uncomfortable. Okay, but here's the thing, though. How many pedophiles openly tell people they're pedophiles? Like, how many people just, like, post things that's like, this is, like... It's a joke. It's clearly a joke. He's not serious.
He's not trying to flaunt his pedophilia.
No pedophile. That'd be the worst pedophile ever, and they'd be immediately, like, caught for it.
The Hardy Boys and the mystery of what it feels like when Uncle Bernie fists me. Sad children's book hashtag.
See, he's not serious. He's just trying to get an uncomfortable laugh.
The Expendables was so manly. Fuck the shit out of the little pussy boy next to me.
Oh, my God.
The boys are back in town.
Oh, boy. I think we might have to bleep some of that.
I mean, it's clearly a joke, though. But, I mean, yes, I understand what they would think, but, you'd have to look at... read Harvey Weinstein's tweets. I'm sure he never said anything about raping anybody.
I agree. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, look at what it says there, and whoever wrote that tweet at the bottom, it says, "Stop rewriting history. This is what James Gunn said."
I think that might be the guy that exposed him. But,
right.
But I'll do one more just because it's making
Are
everybody
you going to do the
uncomfortable.
Justin Bieber one?
No, I don't have the Bieber one.
All right, hold on. Would you like to hear it?
Yeah.
I guess we've crossed the line of tactfulness already.
Oh, yeah.
The first time I masturbated to Justin Bieber, it was a joke, but now I can't stop. He's like the jerk-off crack.
And my question earlier was, how this was 10 years ago?
That one specifically, August of 2010.
And Bieber would have been
16.
And James Gunn would have been like 40. He's 50 now.
I mean, okay, you guys have heard the aristocrat joke, right?
Yes.
So this is
Remind
his
me.
tweets are essentially, I may not be the person.
It's the dirtiest joke. Right? It's like
But it's not the
choose
same
your own
joke.
adventure.
People write
Yes.
their own version
Okay.
of it all the time. If you look at it like that, his tweets are basically him trying to out dirty and out like shock himself. Like all these things he's saying is like one's even worse than the
Right.
other. So I mean, he's playing a game essentially. I'm not saying that's okay. I can understand why Disney didn't want to be associated with all of this. That I can understand, but it's not because they think, oh, he's actually done these things. I think it's just because this is, Disney has an image. They don't want their princesses,
Tarnished.
or saying things like, so they're probably worried like, okay, Chris Pratt, what he said, although I don't support his inappropriate jokes from years ago, he's a good man. I'd personally love to see him reinstated as director. Chris Pratt once said something, like he's part of the Marvel franchise, right? In an outtake of Parks and Recreation, they're just like, name someone who had a good comeback. And Chris Pratt said, Kim Kardashian? And they're like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, didn't the guy come... Wait, am I not getting this right? And it was clearly a joke. Everyone laughed, but, it's inappropriate, but it's funny.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's tough because to your point, he didn't murder anybody. To the best of anybody's knowledge, he hasn't raped children.
Exactly. And okay, the Chris Pratt thing I probably shouldn't have used an example because Kim Kardashian was clearly like legal,
right?
And
well, but even the Kim Kardashian, that's Chris Pratt. He's a entertainer, comedian. Was James Gunn ever a stand-up comedian?
It doesn't matter.
No,
I don't think you need to be. You can have funny like things that make people uncomfortable but still laugh. Ryan Reynolds talks about how, and this is never real. This is never something his daughter actually did, but he talks about like, oh, my daughter just laughs and laughs as I bury her in the sand and then I just walk away or something. Like, that might not have been the exact one, but he makes jokes about like his daughter, like, which is never true. It's never, but it's funny and it's dark and it has a line that gets crossed. But again, like I said, pedophiles don't go around telling people they're pedophilic.
And it's not just Chris Pratt sticking up for Gunn. It's the whole cast that had signed a whole open letter supporting him.
When Harvey Weinstein was exposed, anyone who worked with him was like, I got this sense that this was a bad guy. More people came out of the woodworks. Nobody has come out of the woodworks with this whole situation. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, and it's unfortunate too because it's not just James Gunn; it's other people like Josh Harder, who's a pitcher for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Oh, Hader.
Josh Hader.
Hader. I'm sorry. What did I say?
Harder.
Harder.
Yeah.
That's what I.
Jeez.
But he got taken to the woodshed, so to speak.
Wow!
For some tweets that he made
used the N-word
10 years ago. And his tweets were when he was 16, 15.
I don't remember.
Younger. Yeah. So I'm going to read some of these and obviously choose words.
Choose very wisely.
Some words will be represented with letters and you can fill in the blanks. And who knows what the context is, but it says, I don't give a damn. I'm a triply N. F my lungs, F my liver.
Okay, so here's the thing, and this is one of the reasons our podcast, I think, is so important to understand. Zeitgeist. This is a huge example. You're seeing the N-word right now.
Right.
And it's a huge deal. Everyone knows the current zeitgeist. If you're not black, you do not use that word. Even if you are black. Like, Oprah called Jay-Z out on using the N-word.
Yeah.
And, but 10 years ago, I don't know if you guys have seen Rush Hour with Chris Tucker and
Yes.
okay,
Jackie.
they use the N-word in that movie, and it's only rated PG-13.
And yeah, it's. I mean, I use it with the N because you're right. The zeitgeist is you cannot use it, which is confusing to me to a certain extent because I number one, I recognize it's the connotation behind it is horrible.
Right.
But if we're going to decide that it's a bad word, then you shouldn't say, okay, white guys, you can't use it because it's this bad thing. But then people that are African American can use it to like refer to each other in a brotherly.
But okay, hold on.
Yeah.
You're getting in dangerous territory here.
Maybe.
If it's about them and their race and their culture, they can decide who's okay to say it and who's not. That is their they should be allowed to make that call. If you're black and you want to make sure that I'm brown, right? I make
Right.
terrorist jokes, and
Yeah.
that's if a white person made a terrorist joke about me,
Right.
would that be okay?
A terrorist joke? Well, there's a difference between a terrorist joke and a word.
Okay, what if someone just used the word terrorist
Hey, like
to describe
money?
me?
Yeah.
Well, we got to put it into context too. Is it just a random white person, or if it's one of us?
Random white person.
Like, okay, random white person walked up and said, "You're a terrorist."
You're a terrorist. Or made a terrorist joke. Or what's up, terrorist?
No, I'm not saying that I should be able to run up to an African American person and start, "Hey, how's my, I don't think you should be able to say that. I don't think anybody should be, regardless of whether you're white or brown or black or whatever, it shouldn't be done.
Mm-hmm.
But we're into the point of exclusionary language. Like there are certain things that I can't say because I'm a white guy. It's like, okay, where's the list of words that if you're white you can't say? Where's the list of words if you're
I think if it's any culture other than yours and there's a derogatory word for that culture,
yeah.
you don't say it.
Okay.
If it's your own culture, then you get to make that choice. Are you okay, using a word that brings down your own culture, your own people? Is it wrong to do? Yes, but if you're that culture, I think that gives you more of a right, I should say, not necessarily that gives you more of a right than someone who isn't that culture, who hasn't faced those hardships or, any of those things. I would never use the derogatory word for Jewish people, Chinese people, Mexican people, ever, because I'm not any of those things.
Right.
So if we were to use any of those words right now, it'd be completely fair game to get called out by everyone from those backgrounds.
Okay, so I'm doing devil's advocate here. So
Troll.
if I'm
Huh?
no,
What?
it's not troll.
he's not
You can't. Yeah,
trolling. He's not
bullshit.
trolling.
I'm calling out this troll bullshit. No, so you have James Gunn that can make jokes about pedophilia, which is really a pretty bad thing. I mean, when you strip it down, bad choice of words, it's a bad thing. But that's okay. But if James Gunn were to, now granted he got, shit canned for doing what he did, but if he had done the same thing and used the N-word or used a derogatory term for,
They would have absolutely shit canned him then too.
Yeah.
And here's why. Current zeitgeist is zero tolerance for
right, they would have
any
shit
of it.
canned him,
Yeah.
but would you given him a pass?
Oh, would I have given it personally
Yeah.
if he used the N-word?
Yeah,
10 years ago?
because he's making jokes.
Okay, but we're talking about when did he make this joke? When did he use the N-word?
10 years ago, same time he did the pedophilia thing.
No. I would not. Because here's the thing. Making a joke about pedophilia, you can tell it's a joke. If you use the N-word, you can't tell if they're jokingly being racist or if they're actually using this word. You'd have to... It's context.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I think with
Attaboy.
Twitter.
There we go. Yeah, there we go.
blow it up.
Boom.
I think the problem with all these things is that when you put it on Twitter, there's no sense of context in
Yeah.
it. It's the same thing with James Gunn, with James Hader, or I can't remember Hader's first name.
Josh.
Josh, thank you.
Josh Hart.
He's on the rival Brewers, so I don't care. once you put it on there, there's no sense of context of why they're doing this, why it's being said, that sort of thing. It just you just lose a lot.
I mean, I think there are things that okay, let's put James Gunn to the side because he was a 40-year-old man. But these baseball players that are getting busted right now, these are things that they said when they were teenage boys. Now, I'm not saying that when I was a teenage boy, I ran around, doing N-bomb jokes. I don't.
Right.
No, but I agree with you. Age is definitely a factor.
So you have this thing where number one, not everyone. There is a portion of the society that is on social media that is looking for some reason to be upset about. And all it takes is for them to
find something you posted a long time ago and just nail you on it.
What's interesting about that is there's a guy that had a no-hitter. Sports, yay! He had a no-hitter until 2 outs in ninth inning.
He should never be hitting her anyway.
Oh, yeah!
Domestic violence, Jay.
I agree with you. Domestic violence is bad.
It's terrible.
Go ahead, Dunc,
Context. So we're going back to context here. Misses it. He loses the no-hitter, 2 outs in the ninth. And then as he's getting interviewed at the end of the game, he's also got the story of his tweets that he had. His bad tweets came up. It's just coming faster.
Sean Newcomb.
Yeah, Sean Newcomb. You had... God, I can't have any sort of conversation with you.
I didn't laugh.
But just right when he gets off the mound, this whole thing comes out.
So here's some of his tweets.
Yeah, if you're white, you can't say that.
Skinny and big balls. I'm not lazy. Hashtag. Can I say fag? I just said. I said fag. I said it. I feel like I can say fag. I'm just.
You're just saying it. You're not calling anyone anything.
This gay black kid won't stop presenting about black hair. Hashtag I want to leave. I don't know. There's no context as to what he's talking about. And then I don't know what this is.
There must
somebody be reacting.
So, yeah, you got to look at. I think age is definitely a factor to look into. I think context of what they're saying is a factor to look into. But again, remember how we've talked about this multiple times, that now that we're becoming more woke, we realize, back then, even Friends was very sexist. And, now so we say like, give these people a free pass. They're learning. I think at this point now, don't post anything on Twitter like this now.
Yeah.
Or have someone go and scrub all the bad tweets or Facebook posts out.
I went back a couple weeks ago, or a month or two ago. I don't remember if it was around the Roseanne thing or something else, and I found a service that would just wipe out my entire Twitter history.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I don't think that I put anything up, but sometimes situations occur like the other night where I get a couple cocktails in me, the brain gets spinning a little bit too fast.
That's basically what happens to Donald Trump all the time.
And what was the term you were libated?
I was libated.
I Googled that because I was like, I think I know what libation means, but I always learned it as it was something like giving a drink to a deity. And I'm like, wow, Shorty's calling himself God.
Oh, it was my what was the definition? Was I right, or did I?
The top two are all about like it's a holy thing that you do for a deity, but the last one was like a drink. So I was like, okay, I get it.
All right, I'm straight.
I just figured Shorty was making up words again, which he's done.
Sometimes I do. That's right. So this is Josh Harder.
Hater.
Josh Hader.
Hater.
Ladies, he's very unextractive.
Talking to the press.
Good.
Wow, he's gonna.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Judgy.
Okay, can we cut that? I'm sorry. He's not my type.
Let me see if I can get this to work here.
He's got
Oh my God.
big ears.
How do I?
That doesn't resemble the person that I am now.
Right.
Josh, were you stunned even to look back at those tweets? Do you remember sending them at all? Did they shock you?
No, I do not. And yeah, they weren't meaningful to me. That's not my beliefs at all. And, it's tough, because the people that I've hurt, by those tweets, it's, that's not something I want to do.
That's a stock answer, though.
Is anybody really hurt by these? I mean, if someone pops on, like if you're an African American, you hop on Twitter and you see these, do you collapse into a bucket of tears.
A bucket of tears?
Bucket of tears.
Is it a bucket of
tears. Was it Yogi Bear?
The Yogi Bear.
Hey, Boo, give me the bucket of tears.
So
Shorty's libated again.
I think, again, at this point, here's what I would like. I want them to just start, it'd be like, okay, a total social media start. He's really ugly. Stop.
He's looking at you, Money.
So creepy.
He is looking at you.
He looks sad. I'll give him that. I wish someone would cut my hair.
Shorty just enhanced the size of this photo,
Oh,
so
he
now
is
it's
such a
it's
non-attract-
staring directly at Money right now.
I find him not attractive. I'm sure he is attractive to other
Are
people.
you saving this?
I am
I'm gonna put it up on the
personally
Facebook
not.
page.
Personally, I'm not digging it. His hair is bothering me.
Money's new guy,
Oh,
right there.
it's not.
What if that hair was in a ponytail right now? How badly would you cringe?
Actually,
Hey, at least it's
I don't
not
think,
in a ponytail.
Hold on
Yeah.
though. I would hate this one either way because that hair popping up behind the ear, that's even worse. I mean,
right.
It's kind of a mullet, right? That's
yeah,
in
at
the
least
mullet
with a
category.
ponytail, you'd get rid of that little Susie hair flip thing going on. I don't know. Anyway,
Susie hair flip. I went to grade school with her, first, second, and third grade. Then she moved to Idaho.
Improv, baby. Improv. Yeah.
Oh, it's a true story.
No, here's what I'm thinking. I want there to be a Twitter forgiveness thing that starts today where it's like, okay, everything you've said before no longer matters. Now we'll see how you react.
I will sign that petition.
Because, I mean, and in some cases, yeah, that might be like, because say so-and-so said something racist and it's actually a pretty good, indication that this person is racist. But if you're racist, you're always going to be racist. Like, you're going to say something else on Twitter after this whole
I think,
thing.
and I'm going to go on an old man rant. I think
boy.
that most people, to a certain degree, regardless of their color, regardless of their creed, they're racism. You're born with it, and it's something that gets no. I really believe this, and if you talk to people or you have people talking out of turn where they think that no one's listening, like this, like the Twitter, it comes forward, and it's something that, as a society, if you don't deal with, like you take people in the Deep South, and I'm not saying white people, I'm not saying any particular.
Are you talking about Steve Glass, by the way?
Yeah, Steve Glass in Atlanta. Give him a year, it's not going to be good. But so I think that the burning people at the stake for saying something that's really bad when they haven't murdered someone, they haven't stolen a car, they haven't burned a house down. I'm
going to disagree with you, and only on the fact that, like, again, I think looking at context before we burn someone to the stake, I agree, but I think looking at context, if someone said the N-word in a tweet a long time ago when they were like, 13, 14 years old and didn't know better and all of that, you'd have to look at, the tweet. If it says, oh, I hope all these, N words and K words and B words and all these other things, like, I hope they just get the fuck out of America and make America great, then yeah, under those, then I would be like, okay, this person, there's some racism there. This is definitely, but if they're saying, like, they're using the N word and.
But what do you do with them?
With the person who said the really racist thing?
Yeah.
I think you'd keep an eye out for that person because it seems like they're racist. But when you're saying, like, do you burn them to the stake? I mean, you watch what they do now. If after, say, they grew up after that, right?
Right.
They have a totally different interpretation of race. They were just raised in a family that taught them to say these things.
Right.
And now they're not that person. I think 10 years, a lot can happen to a person.
I agree with 10 years, but let's say someone says something really bad, and like today, we pop on Twitter and somebody says something really bad. It's horrible. How long do they have to pay? How long do they have to? Do we send them to an island, re-education camp? I mean, this is what
Are
they
you
do.
saying they said
with
it
these
now
people.
in this current state, in this
Yeah,
current world?
because there are people. I guarantee you, we'd go on Twitter and search any derogatory word, and we'd be able to find somebody, probably a profile that's somewhat anonymous, but people saying really shitty things.
How about we send them to the Starbucks education meetings?
Well, no, that's a fair question because we did that
We talked about that.
with Dick Hole. And
Dick hole?
No,
You talked with your
mocha.
dick holes? Wait, what? What am I missing
we had a
here?
dick hole show.
I really don't know.
We're
what
talking
you're-
about mocha.
Mocha.
Oh,
Mocha.
right.
But so you had an incident where someone in Philadelphia at one store out of thousands did something that was, not right. And all of a sudden you have to put hundreds of thousands of people into some sort of indoctrination or thought
Okay, here's the
correction.
thing. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
We can say what we want about what we think should happen, right? A majority of people called for something like that or some immediate action. We may not.
I don't think a
it's-
majority of people did.
You
I
don't think? No,
I
but I think
it's
Starbucks
small.
freaked out because they saw that a lot of people were like, "Oh, if this
Yeah.
is how you treat black people,
Small
then
minority.
I'm not coming back." It had to have been enough for them to feel they needed to do that level of damage control. So I would say,
I agree with that. No,
Yeah.
I agree with their reasoning. Sorry, I'm making more coffee.
Yeah,
I understand why they did it, but what I'm trying to express is you have one person that did something that was stupid.
Mm-hmm.
It was stupid and it was insulting and it was probably the wrong thing to do. The reflex action to put everybody into re-education is bizarre to me. Like these baseball players that did the racist, now they have to go to diversity training. I mean, because of a tweet they did 10 years ago.
yeah.
I don't feel bad for them because they make 6-7 figures to throw a baseball around. So I would probably go through it too. But this whole mass re-education, when most people I think are pretty decent, most people probably, number one, most people don't go on Twitter, most people don't go on Facebook with any frequency. And when they do, they don't go and post stupid shit. And if they say stupid shit or think stupid shit, they do it within the bounds of their own house or the bounds of their own friend group or
bounds.
whatever. The bounds.
Bounds.
Isn't that
Leaps
the
and
Beach Boys?
bounds.
Blue moon.
When do you want some more coffee?
No, I'm good. I can see sound and vibration.
Shorty, I'm good. Thank you for asking. I appreciate it. No, I'm.
Whether we think it's okay or not, the current zeitgeist, like I said, zero tolerance. So whether we thought it was okay or not, I personally feel like, it's a bit much. And obviously, if you were born with this certain understanding of racism, it's been hammered into you. If you're raised in a family that is racist through, where they grew up, their lack of education, whatever the reason is, some sensitivity training thing isn't going to necessarily fix that.
Right.
If it's that ingrained into you.
Right.
But taking control like that and saying, we hear that this person was offended, we care enough to try and say that we're not okay, that we as this big corporation are telling you we are not okay with this. As a minority, I have to say that was comforting, that we're not just letting things like that go, that there was something done about it. Because I feel...
Right, but wouldn't the appropriate thing to be done would be deal with the one person that called the police and said there are black people here, you need to take them away.
But then there's
they're
that
not
fear
buying
of,
coffee.
okay, well, how do we know this is... And I'm sure that this exact thing is what the person who came up with this concept for Starbucks to do this thought, which was, how do we prove to people this isn't going to happen again? Yes, it happened with one person. How do we show them that on our end we've done maybe something that was totally useless in the long run? But the point wasn't that. They were proving their public image was... we don't tolerate it. We know the current zeitgeist. We understand it's zero tolerance, and we're showing you that we're on your side.
Yeah.
And I think that was a smart business move on their part. I don't think it really was like, oh, they just didn't want to lose customers. They didn't want it to be a whole thing. Like Chick-fil-A, when that whole gay thing happened,
Right.
they lost a lot of customers. They took a hit.
Right.
Yep.
Their CEO.
So Starbucks is like I said, any CEO of anything who was found saying anything at any point in time, they're going to get nailed. Then it's going to be like execution where it's like public execution. You're going to have to watch what happened and watch how far this person fell for one tiny mistake in the hopes that no one else is going to do it again.
And I think one person, I mean, Roseanne Barr, letting her go. I think James Gunn makes sense. But again, to subject an entire organization to, because when you do that, what if I was a person that worked at a Starbucks in, Peoria, Illinois, I'm thousands of miles away from where this took place. And now I'm told I need to go to this racial diversity training. Now, if I'm there and I'm thinking to myself, so the by them doing that, Starbucks, the organization, they're pretty much. I agree with you from a PR standpoint. Okay, great, but from a person to person standpoint, as an employee, I'm thinking, okay, so now the presumption is that I am a racist, biased bigot.
No, I wouldn't say that was. You're talking about like, oh, now the presumption is that anyone that works at Starbucks is a racist bias. No, I wouldn't say that.
I see it as just a way of covering their ass.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
1000%.
I know people that work at Starbucks, and I like maybe 3 that went to it and they walked away and they were like, what's the point of this?
Here's one thing that I think happened in that training. I don't work at Starbucks. It might be interesting to get someone in here that did. I think they gave them specific guidelines this time, which was, if you say this is not okay. And that is comforting to me, because what if there's something that maybe they don't mean anything by, maybe they don't realize that, like when they're saying, oh, you can't use the bathroom here because you're not. Right. I always had to make a purchase at Starbucks. I study at Starbucks. Yeah. I always had to make a purchase in order to sit down and do that. But, when money was tight, it was like, oh, fuck, do I really need to spend money? I just got to go to the bathroom for 2 seconds. I
have a thing personally, like if I'm going to use a facility in a business,
you're going to pay for it.
If I'm stopping at the gas station and I don't need gas, I'm going to go to the washroom. On my way out, sounds counterintuitive, I'm going to buy soda.
Maybe not.
And then
soda,
the next gas station, 2 hours later, I got to buy more soda, and it ends up costing me $15 before I'm done with the end of the day. But
I think that if you've never dealt with racism, if you've never had someone treat you like that,
I have.
It's
seriously. I mean,
do explain.
When I was a junior in high school,
you're going to say when I was a Jew, and I was like, oh, it was a different time. It was a different time.
Back when I was a junior in high school, I went to, I don't remember if it was homecoming or prom. It doesn't matter. So we went to the dance, and then it was just me and my date. We went downtown afterwards with the intent of doing the carriage ride, and then we're going to go for a pizza. So we went downtown. This is right at Water Tower Place, where they do all the carriage rides. And I think we took the carriage ride, and then we said, okay, let's get something to eat. And we went to a Pizza Hut just right off of Lakeshore Drive, and went in and sat there for 2 hours. We were the only white people in there. And doesn't even matter what race was, but we sat there and we watched person after person being served, and we were non-existent for 2 hours. And it's an isolated thing without question. I'm not.
Right, but how did that make you feel?
It sucked.
Exactly. So so the person who faced some sort of racism at Starbucks, they thought it sucked, and other people thought,
two guys by one employee in Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. I don't think. I'm just saying. I'm repeating myself now.
I think we all have been. Like, I think we know where each of us stand at this point. And like I said, and I will say this at the end. I assume this is the end of every episode, which is, have empathy. The current zeitgeist is unforgiving. So at this point, whether you've had it or not in the past, people attacking people who've made mistakes in the past, have empathy for them.
Right.
I'm talking about, I'm not saying I'm saying those who are accused, have empathy for them when you look at the situation.
Right.
If you said something sexist about a woman 20 years ago, and you didn't realize it wasn't okay to say that, I should have empathy for you because you were raised differently or you saw things differently. Right. So I think, burning someone to the stake is, if someone is saying things like, just Roseanne Barr, I would say, is the perfect example of a person who deserved what happened to her. She said some horrible things.
Yeah.
She really just hurt people. She scared me. I was like, I loved this woman growing up in the 90s, and look at what she just said.
I think she needs mental help.
There is something
there's a
because
layer
even
there
have you
going
seen
on
her shouting at the person? She's like, I didn't know the bitch was white.
Oh God.
Is that where she tried to do a talk
She
show
tried to
on
defend
YouTube
her
or
actions
something?
in an attempt to apologize. She started shouting and losing her shit. So that's another example of if we were to decide today that anything someone said in the past we're forgiving, part of it is because if they are these people will always show their true colors when they have a stage to do so.
Right.
Roseanne Barr, if she had said this stuff 9 or 10 years ago, and it was like, okay, I would forgive her.
Yeah.
Because I'd be like, okay, well, not what she just said, but I'm saying if she said something kind of racist, but not terrible,
Yeah.
I would say, all right, at that time, making a joke like that, we were, it was a different time. Now I would say she'll probably say it again. So it's okay. If we clear everyone's Twitter histories from this point on to when Twitter started and forgave them, if they're racist, if they're sexist, if they're bigots, it's going to come out again.
Dunc, how many tweets do you have that we need to read through?
I think I'm good.
You think so?
I don't tweet that much. I just read a lot of stuff. Yeah. Can you imagine what the backlash for Roseanne would be if she did the crotch grabbing, throwing out the first pitch right now in 2018 instead of whenever she did it before?
You know what?
She grabbed someone's crotch? I'm
her
confused.
own. No,
she grabbed her own crotch?
No, she's saying the anthem, grabbed her crotch, and then spit on the ground and pretend like she was a baseball player.
Do baseball players grab their crotches?
Oh, we're going to see it here.
God, she was a ball.
All right, fast forward to the end.
My ears are bleeding.
Fast forward to the end.
I'm trying to get a video that actually works here.
It's gonna keep jumping.
July 26, 1990 at the Padres Stadium.
Oh my God, do we really have to just...
Just go to the end.
I think she messed up the words, too.
She looks...
Here we go. Grabs a crotch.
Was that during her Tom Arnold days? Or both of them were insane and doing coke all the time?
Well, possibly. Oh, it's on a loop.
Okay, can we please
It's on
just
the
make
loop.
that never happen again? Oh my God, my ears are bleeding.
You had never seen that before?
No, she looks like... I'm going to be very careful with how I word this. She honestly looks like a mentally challenged person. She's spitting, she's kicking, she's shouting, like she's not even actually trying to sing. I would have found this whole thing offensive.
I think a lot of people in the Padres organization probably would have lost their job if that happened in 2018.
Yeah.
I don't know. With the current... it's very divisive right now. I mean, the NFL is suffering from it because the whole kneeling for the national anthem thing. So, yeah.
I think that's a completely different issue, though.
I agree with that guy.
Whatever. Oh,
I forgot your name.
I can't believe it's a total respect.
He didn't write it on the board.
This is what
behind
happens
him.
when you're trapped in an oil painting for
Episode
6 weeks.
10, for God's sakes.
Yeah, I inhaled
It's
a
a-
lot
it's a
of oil.
big
I
10.
basically showered in turpentine, so like my lungs are totally gone. Just
Dunc,
oh, there we
Duncan
go.
DuPont.
Mr. DuPont.
See, I was gonna say your real name because
Captain
we've basically
DuPont.
been calling each other by our real
Captain
names.
DuPont. We're doing Captain now?
Whatever makes it easier for money.
Okay.
Dirty DuPont.
Dirty DuPont.
Miss DuPont, if you're nasty. Sorry. 90s joke.
Oh, boy. I do like the idea of just saying, all right, here's the cutoff. No more bullshit.
From here on out, yeah. I
You're on
forgive you for
you're on your
everything,
own.
yeah.
After that,
Can we do that, a reset for everybody, and then maybe dial up our tolerance for stupidity just a notch. Like give someone I can say something stupid and
I do agree to a point with that. It's the same thing with cable news when we're talking about CNN about the fact that Justin Bieber got a haircut, and it's the biggest news as if we bombed another country. That
Dude,
sort of
he
thing.
hasn't been cute since though.
But
that
I'm just saying,
haircut
that's the kind of discussion we had before. Everything was at a level 10 when there's a breaking news over there, and I just don't. When things like this happen, it shouldn't be all the outrage should not be at a level 10. For everything across the board. I mean,
I judge like years based off of like, is it BH? Like, is it before haircut or after haircut? That's how I judge where I was in my lifetime.
I think the world would be a better place if CNN and all the cable news were focused all the time on Justin
these
Bieber.
Stupid things. Because remember we said
true.
about the Yanny versus Laurel thing that.
Right.
For any reason, it was actually like, yes, it showed how politically diversified we are, that, it's one side has to be right and the other side can't be. But at the same time, it was such a nice distraction from real political debates and real things that are...
But I don't even think we're having real political debates anymore. We're debating about nonsense.
Well, that's a whole different subject that we'll touch on. But I just think that the bad reaction, when people see tweets like this, it always seems that it's just the level of outrage for the people who are really upset by it it's usually at a 10. It seems like it's at a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing that bothers me a lot.
Yeah, that's fine. Have the baseball player apologize and
move on.
And move on.
And also look at, keep an eye out, obviously. Like if you thought, okay, this person said something racist, then watch what they do with their life. Like if you've got Gandhi saying a bunch of like, calling everyone N-words and stuff in a tweet so many years ago, but then it's Gandhi. Look at all the good stuff you know what I mean? I'm using an example here.
Right. No, but if this kid, Josh Harder, I'm going to keep calling him Harder just because it's stuck in my head right now. But if he did this 10 years ago and his habit and actions right now were to go to the clubhouse and start just beating up all the people that are not white, then that's a problem.
Yeah.
But I don't.
Or he opens up like a soup kitchen in a different part of the country and trying to. So you look at someone's actions, because if they're racist, they'll show you.
Right.
They'll prove you right.
Yeah.
If it's tweets that you sent out once, it's not like, oh, one time I'm gonna slip up and let them know who I really am, but only once.
Yeah.
No, they'll do it again.
Right.
They'll do it again.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, this was fun. I missed you guys.
I miss you too.
That oil painting, there was nobody else in there, so I was very lonely.
It was pretty lonely, yeah.
Like I said, it was the Scream one, so the whole time there's just this lady who looks shocked about everything. It was just like the Justin Bieber haircut.
I just want to do a quick apology before we get the band back in here. So my wife and I had breakfast with my parents, and my dad had me write out a check, and we had to add a couple things up, and my mom got all excited about the fact that she can use this thing called a calculator as an app on her phone, and was really excited to break this out. And I looked at her just like she had 10 heads, because we're not breaking new ground here. It's just everyone's got a calculator now on their phone, and she just seemed very excited about that whole thing. And I'm glad you're able to use the calculator now on your phone. I'm sorry.
You're apologizing to your mother?
To my mom, yeah. I'm very happy for you. I'm just sorry I gave you that weird look.
Has she learned how to download the app so she can listen to the podcast?
We did that I swear to you, I did that with my mom and dad today at breakfast. So yes, we downloaded.
Oh, so
we
this
put
is a
it
total
in.
setup. He's trying to. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Set up for what?
You're doing an ass covering right now.
For what?
I don't know. Did you lay into your mom about the calculator thing?
I gave it a look.
You gave it a look.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
He's doing an ass covering right
Yes.
now.
I have an unnecessary apology.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to Josh Harder. I forgot what we decided his name was.
Harder. We're calling him Harder.
What is his actual name?
Hater.
Okay, I'm sorry to Josh Hader that your haircut is stupid. Just get it like proper haircut. It doesn't look nice on you, and it really accentuates your large.
Maybe you should just apologize to his hair that he's deciding to keep it that way.
Yeah, that would work too.
Okay.
Either way, that look That is not a good
Can we
look, man.
enhance that photo again?
Just cut the hair.
As we
He
roll.
wouldn't be as bad looking if he just cut the hair. There's
As we-
something that bothers me about it all on one. Just look at it. It looks like the hair is coming out from under his ears. That's not on top of his head. There's actually no hair on top of his head.
I know.
It all starts
I know.
down
I
here.
love- I love Mo. I love Mo. I want her to braid my hair.
You can't.
And-
Like, it's just so stupid.
Can you send the eyebrow lady over?
I need some conditioner in my hair.
Oh my god, his
All
ears
right.
too. Like,
I
and
have
it's
an-
pushing his ears out further from his head. Like, you've already got satellite ears, man. Just fix the hair and it won't be so bad.
I have an unnecessary apology that just popped into my head, and I want to extend to my junior prom and/or homecoming date. I want to apologize to her for being such a cheap ass that I took her to Pizza Hut.
Well, it sounds like you didn't even spend any money.
No, we got the pizza. It just took 2.5 hours.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
All right. Well, let's give a nice slow clap for Money. This is our first episode with her back. A slow clap.
It's like Roseanne Barr's clap if she was.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for listening. I
Thanks for
appreciate
listening.
it.
Like, share, listen, and
On
do
the
something else.
Snapper.
On the Snapper and the Twit.